Hello there, this is Kate in the nest in Australia, and I want to just say welcome. I am filming in the dark for this session, and it's actually an extra one, unplanned, but I have um, something that I really want to finish off, and I thought, you know, Kate, you're going to be doing it anyway. Just talk to your friends while you do it and give them a little update. So this is going to be about my very, very vintage project. Here's a nest that I don't know when I've last shared this with you, but just absolutely enjoying a mix of these, what I'm calling vintage or traditional colors. I've still got my little pops of color, but the learning in this has been amazing because this is probably, oh, that's a beautiful, sorry everyone. See, I just love the memories evoked when you make a nest or a vessel and fill it with things that you found at Oppie or thrifting stores. So I don't think I've showed you this in detail. If I have, I hope you'll forgive me, but I suppose I'm connecting this nest because of this pot holder with a larger nest, which I think I shared the pattern for this spiral, but I keep stopping and thinking it's high enough, and it's not. So I am going to just update you, have a little chat, as I think I need to add a couple more rows to this nest vessel out of fabric, and we might do some finishing off. That's better than watching the news, which is all sort of negative at the moment. I'm going to sneeze because it's pollen time, and let's get started. I bought down only 3 bits of fabric rolls. I'm still getting questions about the size that I tear. Pauline Franklin said 1.5 centimeters. I don't measure, I just do it by eye. So this on is fabric and I've torn that. This is a beautiful, and I've loved using this. Look at this, everyone. I got it from the sewing basket, and I didn't realize that it had this little bit of gold fleck in it. So I've torn that. It's probably a bit thicker because I didn't want to get rid of the selvage. So this is the selvage part of it with the fray still on. Love that. This is the pink and white pale polka dot. And again, as I said, I just snip the fabric and then start tearing. And if it's too thick, it ends up tying itself up. And, that's the style. So I'm just going to sit down, and I don't think this will be a long one because there's nothing particularly earth-shattering about it, but I have learned a lot. And again, this top row is probably the biggest row of one of my crochet vessels, and this is indeed the biggest circular base that I've done. So I shared the pattern a few episodes ago. Some of you found it helpful and some were a little confused. It does not matter. Look it up if you want to do a spiral. The main thing is when you feel it's a big enough base, stop increasing. Stop adding the 2 double crochets into 1 stitch and just have the pleasure of going round and round. And that's what we're going to do now. So I have finished at this point. I've got this little tag hanging out. I'm going to look at what I've previously got underneath, and I'm deliberately going to make my rows not start at the same place as the previous row has started. And I do want to, I think, feature the gold as an ending. So with all of that, let's choose. This is a very pale pink with just a little fleck of a rose flower and leaves. And as I've shared before, you will be very surprised at the pattern. Okay, do I need to keep it up here? I think I do. Sorry. Big day. So what are you up to? Are you making things with fabric? Sorry, I've just had my dinner and that was a little bit of a hiccup. Literally. It's the most beautiful thing to see the comments and to see photos in different places of all of us who are remembering rag rugs and things from our earlier days. Oh gosh, I got a bit aggressive with that one, everyone. Just remember, see, I was going fast. You have to be aware of your tension a little bit. So this is a thinner cotton, and so now I'm going to loosen up and pull this first stitch up. Now, if you are new to this, you can go back through my videos, but basically we started with a row, some chains, and then we've done this stitch all the way through. In Australia and the UK, we call this a double crochet. In the US, I think it's called a single crochet. Crocheting relies on how many loops you have on your hook and how many times you go around it. So for this stitch, you go in without a loop, go in, hook, through, the yarn over. You've only got 2 there and you pull it all the way through there. So really simple. This is a size 8, yep, crochet hook. That means that these vessels grow quickly. All right, so there's this little bit of pale. Now I think I want to change. Maybe it would be hysterical if I haven't got some scissors, but here's a pair. So the more you make, the more you realize what you like. And I'm learning that I like little uneven pops every now and then. So this whole vessel in the base didn't have any yellow. This is a tablecloth and napkins from an Oppie shop. But look at that, just 1, 2, let's see, really it is 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches comes out with that pop. So it's all relative to the size of your vessel. And where are we going now? Let's have this brighter pink. Or do I want some gold? Yeah, I think I want gold. So you sort of have to look ahead and think, where will I end up on the top? And of course, you could make it all the same color if you wanted. I'm just learning as I go, as always. So this gold has no pattern on it except like a little embedded gold fleck. So it doesn't produce anything other than this little glint of gold and the raggy edges. I'll just slow down in a minute and just show you the impact that this row is already having. So that's where I was with the pink and green very pale. So thin and a little bit tighter. Immediately I've gone to this thicker and more frayy, and my stitches are larger, almost twice the size. I love that. So that will give an uneven impact. That for my nests, I love. But if you are uncomfortable with that, I would say stick to very similar weights of fabric. These two are much more similar than this one. And I'm going over the top of this. Was a lightweight as well, but roses, you've seen that fabric quite often, I think. So I hope you're not depending on a variety of stitches here, because this is both the strength and the con, I suppose, of showing you, like, you can chat your head off, concentrate on any complex thing that you're watching and learning as you crochet with fabric, because it's all the same stitch. You don't care where the row began, no counting of stitches, just on and on. But I suppose as viewing material, it's not the most enlightening. But I am doing it as encouraging, I hope, and inspiring. So here we come. Look at this. That was on the fabric when I bought it. And I'm just going to absorb that in as a bit of a fleck. It may get seen or it may not. So no fabric scrap or remnant is unworthy of you using. All right. So how many stitches have I done? I'll do a few more of these gold ones. And we'll change again. Remember, it's okay to change your grip. And I know some of us find it harder on our hands, so all I just say is not do it too often. If your body or hand starts saying it's too tough, oh God, I've gone on to the same stitch there, so excited. Just give it a rest. But I actually think I'm going to count again. This is a sort of exercise. I'm moving my muscles. I did go for a walk today. I'm still on step timber, but I don't like walking out there in the wind. And I had most of yesterday at the studio, so anyway, just have it front and center. And don't punish yourself if you don't get it done, but feel good about whatever you're doing to help yourself. All right, so that's about, I've come like a third, and look at the impact of that. I love, 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 love that. So I'm going to stop. There's no rhyme or reason, but I know that the next row is going to go over the top of this and this. So that's why we'll use a hotter pink. I am thinking about putting something slow stitched on the bottom of this, or you know, a doily, some large round piece. Not sure yet, but I am really liking the thought of mixing fabric and crochet together at the moment. All right, so gold is done for the moment. Let's introduce this one. It's going to be, look already, the difference between that strip and this strip. There'll be you'll instantly see that there won't be this size stitches, but as I said again, just work out what you like doing and seeing. So there we are. That's a real visual of a big thick strip compared to the smaller. But again, I'm sorry if I'm repeating, look how this flops, and that's how I like them. If you want your nest to stand up and be uniform, just make sure that you use all the same weight and the same general size of your fabrics. But if you want to live on the edge, just do a Kate and give it a try. Rip up those sheets. Missy has always, I've been envious because I think, it's thrown out all those sheets, and Missy used one in her first big basket. Gave me an incentive to go into my linen cupboard, and I found, because I knew I had an worn out linen sheet that I thought I had put in an oppie bag, and guess what? It was there still. So I'm so excited that I have pinstripe linen sheet, which will be now having, well, it could have gone and been reclaimed by someone else at the oppie, but now it's going to be reclaimed by Kate and turned into a nest, I'm sure. There we go. It's round and round. See, that pink has knitted up so quickly. And where did we start? Around here. So I think I said I wanted to do 2 rows in total. I want the height, so I'm going to stop here. You can see I've got this beigey, neutral, natural and blue goes all along. Underneath it I've got a pink row that's a bit brighter than this, so I'm going to stop. So what am I trying to say by that? It's like collage. Don't start your rows exactly on top of each other, or your pieces. See it in the same way. So you still have the unification of the fabric, but not in predictable joins. So many of you have already watched my What's in the Green Door from this week, and thank you for that, number 1. And I have to say that I realised today that there's no open door until I think it's nearly 6 weeks, not till the end of October. And I said to my husband, I don't know if I can last. And he just laughed at me. But I thought that is just a true indication of prioritizing the things in my life at the moment. I've just been there, and I can't think about how long it will be, but time's flying, but you know what I mean. But that's why I'm going to talk to you more. So I think this one will just be a little bit of gold. Yeah, just a little bit. A few more. Okay, we'll stop there. Sometimes the fraying catches, and you can see there that there's a thread making that pull tight. Sometimes I live with that, and sometimes I just release it, so that's better. Okay. I'm wishing I had something else here. Okay, I brought this down because I have been using this all the way through. This very vintage, and this does not tear, but again, this is where you can just follow your mood. I want to make, these are very bad scissors for relatively. I think by next week I might be filming my crocheting and stitching in my stitching and crochet room, which is really my spare bed that's become like a hoarder's dream. And I've thought, instead of taking everything down here, which is where I have my papers and my whatever that thingy is that you put your camera on, now that I've got a more portable one, maybe I can take the filming to that room, and it's more an incentive to clean it up. Okay, one more time back. So obviously if you had bigger scissors, this would go faster, but I suppose this is the reassurance. I know, many of us, well, we're all different, aren't we? Some of you would be saying, how are you doing that, Kate? And others would be saying, oh, that's so freeing. So just for you, I'm doing me. And I have here, not very much, but it's going to be enough just to give this little bit here a bit of pizzazz before I go into the pink over the top of that. So very thick fabric will work exactly the same way. So we're ready for our next stitch. Through the stitch, new fabric, just under the hook. Oh, missed. Pull it through. There we go. We've got 2 loops. What do we do, everyone? I hope you're saying, just put this round and pull it through the 2. So again, now these stitches, you don't actually see the individual bit of the stitch, and I love that impact or effect, or whatever is a good word. And it frays all the way, and there's a little glint of a pale pink sequin every now and then. It's got a little bit tied up. So I'm only, where did we start? Have I done one row yet? We're up to where I started. So this is a really wide journey around the side of this nest. Biggest one yet. Oops. I might just stand up and show you the impact of that. Can you see? The colour probably doesn't come out well enough, but there are myriads of frays and little sequins above this very neat fabric. And see, when it all squishes together, that's my squishy nest that I love so much. Okay, so when you do what I just did, you've got no choice. It's going to run out. So we're going to just take it to the limit. We're going to get one more stitch in because it's just eating up the fabric. In fact, I'm probably lucky to get that stitch in. I am. So I'm going to pull it back one. So that's what you learn as well. A bit hard to unpick this one. Pull it out. There we go. So out of those strips that you saw me do, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. But that's enough to have this reminder of this fabric. Okay, let's leave that hanging. Where to next? That's what it's always where we want to think about. Okay, we're going back to this hot pinky one, which is smaller. We'll crochet the ends in on this time because I want a little bit of that hanging out the front. So you just gather it all together. And I need to say thank you to the dearest Anita, who's been with me from the very beginning, who encouraged me that when she said she likes to see the ends hanging out because it gives you an idea of the fabric used. And I think so too. But easily hidden. I probably won't leave that as long, but for the moment. Okay, so let's do a quick travel around here. Yeah, I'll just stop. I'll leave that there and I'll stop picking it up. I'm deliberately making these loose, pulling a little bit more, and now I'm about to encounter this very heavy gold, which is a joy. This feels so lovely under your hands. Okay, you've probably got the idea. There's my nest growing in front of your eyes. Where did we start? We started... See, I love it. I can't even remember. It's on you. I did that tonight, I know, and I did this bit here. Okay, so this is where we started, and I've done 2 rows, and it's already an inch, probably deeper. So I will go and feel that, and I'll put some things in it and just see if that's high enough for me on this edge, and if not, I'll keep going. I did want to show you one more thing before I fly, and that's the finishing process would be, if I look at this now and I go, I don't like all of, and I don't like all of these in here, I will just go fishing. This is good not to do all at once. Get a smaller crochet hook, put it through, pick that tail up and bring it through to the bottom. Where's the tail? Yep. Then just work it in. 1 and 2. In this style, it would take a lot of use to have that come through. So I'm just going to cut it close to the stitch there. It's absorbed and it's gone from the center. So here's another one. Let's just do this. So I don't like that there. Just poke through from the bottom with a different size crochet hook. Smaller is better. This one's maybe a bit small. Just depends what you have. Hook it and bring it through. That was the edge. Here's the tail. Okay, and now smaller hook, just find any place you want. You just work it under and then trim it off. And I find if you do that in small amounts, and just maybe at the end of a session, you're not left with all the ends at once. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed a little catch up on my crocheted nest. That belongs to, there's another one of these nests, or maybe 2 that belong. Anyway, this is my very, very vintage project that I have been so enjoying doing. And hello, Mum, there's your half slip, forever and ever. Okay, let's put those back in the nest with the crochet hook. I've got something all tangled up, but that's how life is with Kate in the nest. Thank you so much, everyone. Sending blessings. Have a great time. Until I see you next time. This is Kate. Bye.